Hey CFMV, welcome to your Thursday WOD. We've got two sections for you. First off, we've got your strength component, a little bit of core work. So we've got some tuck-ups, we've got some sit-ups in there. We also have a 30-second seated pike hold. We'll show you what that looks like. And then we've got a little bit of a grinder for your metabolic conditioning, little mental grind of a 25-minute AMRAP. We've got some double unders, we've got a run in there, we've got sit-ups, we've got dumbbell sumo deadlifts, and then we have alternating snatch. We'll show you how that looks like. Let's get after it. Okay, let's go over your little core strength component here. So we have a 5-minute AMRAP. You're going to complete as many rounds and reps as possible in 5 minutes. Some sit-ups, 5 sit-ups, 10 tuck-ups, and then a mandatory 30-second hold of a V-sit hold. So your first movement is that sit-up. We're going to get our feet, as Coach Holly's doing here, into a butterfly position. Try and get those heels as close to your body as possible, starting with your hands at your toes. Then she's just going to lay on flat, hands back behind. She's going to touch back here, and then come on up, touch the toes here, and just make sure your shoulders are in front of your hips. That's your goal there. So 5 of those. Then she's going to lay on out and get herself set up for a tuck-up. So from here, she's going to bring her knees to her chest, and her hands are going to go outside of her knees. Now she's doing it here where her heels never touch the ground again. If that is an issue, you can bring your heels down and keep touching all the way back. So you're going to do 10 of those. Then keep an eye on the clock. Start your 30 seconds of a V hold. Now, so this pike position is hands here in front. Then you're going to, as straight as possible, point your toes out in front of you and sandwich yourself up like you would in a V sit-up. But we're just holding this here for 30 seconds. Go ahead and rest. Now, if this position is very difficult for you, then all we want you to do is bring your knees up to your chest and hold that position here. All right, so 30 seconds of that. You're going to do that over and over again, as many rounds and reps as you possibly can in 5 minutes. Okay, let's talk about that metabolic conditioning. 25-minute AMRAP, as many rounds and reps as possible in a 25-minute time domain. So this is a beautiful time domain to learn how to pace yourself out instead of blowing yourself up over the first few movements. Your first movement in this AMRAP is 100 double unders. So if you have a jump rope and you've got space to do it, so you're sending that jump rope underneath you twice. Now if you have single unders, okay, you're still working on your double unders, then you're going to give me 200 single unders. Or you can find a plate that's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches off the ground, a good target. Coach Holly here is going to demonstrate just some plate hops, and you're going to give me 100 of those. Once you're done with those, you're going to go off for an 800-meter run, fastest 800-meter run you're ever going to see. Holly's going to come on back, and once you do, you're going to get right back to the ground, and you are going to perform 60 sit-ups. So just the same movement that we did in our strength component. Get into a butterfly position, touch all the way back behind you, touch your toes, and get those shoulders out in front. When you're done with those, we're going to set up for our sumo deadlift, and that is going to be with your feet outside your shoulders and even a little bit wider than your squat stance. You're going to hip hinge and send your hips as far back as possible, grabbing those dumbbells. Now, before Coach Holly gets ready to set up, she's going to bring her hips back underneath and drive straight up in that deadlift position. So that's what's a little bit different in the sumo deadlift, is her hips will always get right back a little bit lower than a good old-fashioned deadlift. So you're going to do some of those, 40 to be exact. Then she's going to use one dumbbell for a dumbbell snatch. The same hip hinge here, okay? As she drives up, her elbow is going to come straight up, and then she's going to get right back underneath it to catch that snatch. All right, so she can do 10 on one side, and then when she's done with 10, she can do 10 on another. You can also alternate them one at a time. You just want to knock out a total of 20. That whole component is one round. You're going to repeat that for 25 minutes. We want to see how you did. Go ahead and get after it, and we'll see you soon.